Ford has facelifted the popular Focus hatchback and Estate models. Both cars have some changes to the exterior styling, but the big changes come on the inside, specifically the dashboard, which now has a lot fewer buttons than the outgoing model and is a lot more user-friendly. Let's see what our What Car readers make of these changes.
Yeah, the exterior styling actually it really does grab your attention. When you look at it from the front, it looks as though the car sits lower on the road. It looks a bit more sporty now. So certainly on the front end of the car, it does look very different. I think the back of the Estate doesn't look a huge amount different to the old version, whereas the hatchback, they have made that difference on the tailgate. We would almost certainly choose the Estate for the extra versatility. I've got 2 kids and a dog, so the flexibility to have the dog cage in the back of the boot and still have luggage space would really make the difference for us. The 1.5 diesel engine that's been discussed would be of particular interest from an economy perspective, and obviously because it's going to be cheaper to tax. There's no proper footrest here for your left foot, and looking in the centre console, there are a couple of bits of plastic in there that don't look like they're going to quite stand the test of time. One of the really impressive features of the new Focus actually is the dashboard. They've simplified the central console. They've got rid of a lot of the buttons, particularly around the stereo system. It's quite fiddly to use when you're driving. This one looks a bit more intuitive. I think the cabin absolutely is much more premium than the previous version, and of actually quite a lot of Fords. They've grouped the buttons, looking around the console, they've grouped the buttons quite neatly, and they fall quite neatly to hand as well, so it's definitely a more premium feel.
I like the front end. I think the new grille is really good. I think it looks a lot better in the flesh than it did in the pictures that I'd seen previously. I was a bit concerned that in the pictures it looked all grille, but when you see it in the flesh, it's a lot better proportioned. And I think the way that flows into the front lights gives it a really good sporty appeal. It's got a very good feel to it. You feel you're in something a bit classier. I was a little bit concerned about the rear leg room. My daughter is quite tall, quite long legs. I'm just wondering how she would fare sat in the back of it. Obviously the Zafira I've got at the moment's got lots of rear leg room, so that would be a slight concern. But I did notice on the Estate got plenty of headroom, more so than the saloon. I take my son fishing, so it's a case of putting a couple of fishing baskets in there without having to drop the seats down. One slight disappointment compared with my current car is though that the back seat is just a 60-40 split, so you can't put the centre down to put something long in, so I'd have to try and work out how the rod holder was going to go in there. I'm in an interesting position at the moment that although I'm going to be doing about 18,000 miles a year, my office is actually only about 3 miles away from me. So it is that thing at the moment. Am I better to go with a diesel because of the overall mileage I'm doing? But modern diesels, I do have a concern. They don't like short journeys. I've had problems with my current car doing short journeys with it in the diesel. But with the EcoBoost engine, that could be an option. They've got such a good name for handling and being a driver's car, and that is something that I miss. I've had other cars in the past which were very much driver's cars, so I'm looking to try and get something of that ilk when I go forward, but I still need to have that practicality as well, unfortunately. But this could be the compromise.
I really like the front end. It brings it up to date and in line with the latest Fiesta. And obviously it's going to be the new look for the new Mondeo, so it means that the Focus is up there with them. I like the space in the Estate rear. Obviously having 2 kids, it makes it easy to fit in the kids' bike and the buggy and the shopping. The front and rear legroom are good enough. I can sit in the front and then I can sit behind myself, so that's a good test. It means I can fit all the family in. I like the dashboard, the new big touchscreen. Sync 2 is going to be a big selling point, and I'd be interested in that when it's out. The dashboard's a lot more clean and there's less buttons on it. I think one criticism of the current generation Focus is there was too many buttons and it was hard to navigate, and I think with the new Sync 2 it's reduced the clutter on the dashboard, so I think it's a good thing. There's still no footrest in this version of the Focus. It'd be nice if there was one. Quite interested to see how the new 1.5 litre EcoBoost performs. I think they said it was 150 and 180 horsepower. So that'll be interesting, but it won't be as interesting as an ST.
I like the new revised front, the fresh looking front end of the car, the new lines, and also I like the ease of the dashboard. The new layout looks a lot better for the car, a lot less complicated. They've raised the controls there of the aircon, so you're not sort of focusing down off the road too much to alter them. But in relation to the new sync that's coming in, everything's voice activated anyway, so I'm looking forward to using that. You get into the car and it does feel a lot better quality. Obviously, looking from the car at the front as well with the new revised front end, it does look a better looking car.
The facelifted Ford Focus models go on sale in the summer and will arrive in showrooms towards the end of the year, with prices that are expected to be close to those of the outgoing car. We're going to be driving both models towards the end of the year, so look out for those first drives on whatcar.com.